Where is it you actually started? What was your motivation and inspiration to become a barber? Where did it all start from the beginning?
I think that education is one of the most important things that we as a person needs to have. I mean, education is the difference between animals and humans. Okay. So if we have education, we can grow and promote more than a lifestyle, more a profession. Is the way as we treat other persons, and you know, it's about human beings.
No, definitely. And where did you actually start, right from the very beginning? Because you've got quite an interesting story about how you actually came
I started when I was 21 years. Actually, first of all, I didn't know if I want to be a barber, hairdresser, or it came a few months later. But I started when I was 21 years in Canary Islands.
Okay.
And then I started to introduce myself in barbering, then go to academy, and after 3 years I decided to move to France and Spain. I mean, we are actually in Spain, and I started to work with a group called L'Oreal, and then to Procter & Gamble with two brands, Bella Professional and Sebastian Professional. And in 2010 I decided to leave all those things and back to what I love, it's barbering.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. And right from the beginning, you know, when you was a child, 16, early before then?
Actually, when I was 6, I was a musician student. I started to introduce myself in how to play cello in the conservatory, and it was so amazing. But actually, music was a part of my life to express myself. And after a few years, I found that way to express myself into her, and how people can communicate about the image. So that was so amazing for me, and that's the reason I started to learn barbering and hairdressing.
So you used your musical artistry,
yeah, exactly. You know,
and then you turned it into visual artistry.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's the same way, but with the different tools, cello or scissor, but it's the same.
Okay. And where did the idea come around to start the academy?
Okay. When I was a musician student, I was in part and do seminars for childs and other students. So I think that to teach is a must in my life.
Okay.
Lately I started to work as a technician for Bella Professional, so the way of education for me is totally necessary, and I love educate, so that's the reason that BBD starts.
Okay. And you've chosen to work with Shane Nesbitt and Paul to do European tours. Tell me what benefit and value you think they will bring to VBD.
I think that more than a BBD, I think that it's not about BBD. I think that the message is more important than the messenger.
Okay.
So to promote what I love, barbering, the barber life, is really important. So if you find to meet people that trust in the same things as you, is really difficult in this society. So when I met Paul and I met Shane, was okay. This guy thinks same as me, and we have the same values. So let's promote our lifestyle and the way that we see barbering. Okay. So that was.
Okay. And your academy, you strongly believe in the techniques of cutting.
Yeah, for sure, for 100%.
And also, you seem, I've listened to your seminar over the last 2 days, and you talk about fashion and trends. How do you quantify or make yourself?
I think that it is a balance. I mean, as a hairdresser or barber, you must have a technique, a good technique, the right skills, the customer service, how to use your tools, how to promote different service, and how to promote yourself. But that's our reality. If we see end customers, their reality is totally different. They want to be involved in a society. They want to promote themselves by their own image. So I think that fashion can help. How can you treat, or how can you work with your end customer? But at firstly, you need to know your right skills. I think that's the balance, technique and fashion.
Okay, perfect. And I see that you've got a strong affiliation and relationships with tattoo artists, and you're really into your tattoos. Tell me about this fascination.
I think that when I was 15 years, I did my first tattoo. A friend of mine did my first tattoo. So I think that tattoo life is you know what, when you can read something, just only you can read inside the lines. I think that all my tattoos is a part of my life. You know, the values, what I love, what I don't love, what I believe. To have that connection is like my temple, and it's really amazing to I can draw my own temple and to create my own values. That's a part of, that's the way I see a tattoo life.
Okay, so just to get this right, your tattoos are a reflection of your journey in life.
Yeah,
you basically
100%.
You just choose where you want that part of your journey to be exhibited on your body. Okay.
For example, I have familia, is family, love, and what I have here is writing in Sanskrit, but means love and beloved. You know, it's a part of who I am. More than my profession, it's a part of who I am. It's not a part, it's 100% who I am.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. And not only do you tattoo yourself, it seems like you have lots of patterns on your clippers. I've seen some of your videos.
How many people you know that said, I have my own values? Okay, can you deal with that values 100% every time in your life? They said, no. I have a tattoo on myself, so I must deal with that.
Yeah, no,
that's the point.
I don't know, it's almost like your signature on your life, on yourself. There's, you know, once you sign a letter, that's it, there's no going back.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the same point.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was saying, I've seen some of your videos and I see that you use a lot of American clippers, and these also have tattoos on them and patterns and so forth. Tell me your love for American clippers, because you live in Europe. Why don't you have that same value? And
I think that actually we have two different schools, the old school and the new school. I really, VBD, the old and new school, or the old school promoted in the new way. But because I love to play, I love to work with scissor. I love work with scissor. I think that is more than a passion, it's a tradition.
Okay.
But the reason that I work with American clipper is because when I started to move to be involved in the barber way, I just was trained by people from the United States. And I think that the best country that barber life is located is the United States. So that's the reason I can actually, to be honest, I can actually work with a European clipper, but I don't like. I really don't like. You know, for example, the Oster Model 10 or I love World 5-star Senior, and we don't have that model in Europe. And for example, if you compare to the same clippers, for example, we have the Magic Clip, the American Magic Clip and the European Magic Clip. We have Moto V9000 in front of the same clipper, but a Moto 5000. So you can see a little bit of difference. Yeah, it's not the same.
Okay. And tell me about your experience with the frequency 60 Hertz converter that allows you to use American clippers here in Spain or England or anywhere in Europe. How's your experience been with them?
Quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good because you have with the technology that we have, you can adapt any kind of clipper to. But something that I like is to use the old clippers, you know, like the classic 76 or the Model 10 or Oster Titan, to do a classic kind of haircut. I think that all of barbers must have a rotary motor or, you know, a clipper with detachable blade.
Yeah, that's right. That's where the 76
yeah,
and 10
exactly.
comes into play. Okay, because I don't want to take up your time because you're rushing off to Malaga.
Yeah.
Just one last question. Let's say I was a trainee barber or just started my career and I wanted to enroll in one of your courses to improve my skills and everything like that. What would you say to me if I was kind of on the fence, I was not sure? How could you reassure me that coming on one of your courses would leave me a better barber or a better person?
Actually, what we promote in VBD are we have different seminars, but at the first of all, when you came to a BBD seminar, we open you a new way to understand what barbering is, the history, the values, how to use the tools. So I think at first you can feel more confident to know what are you doing and why are you doing that. After that, it's about passion. If you don't have passion for our profession, please don't do it.
That's very good advice.
But when you have knowledge, you have options, and when you have options, you can choose.
That's right.
That's BBD. That's the foundation of BBD. And we always said a sense of Theodore Roosevelt. No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. That's the biggest point of BBD.
Okay. And that's hence why you kind of brought in Shane as well, because I've seen Shane has basically lifted the spirits and lifted the mindset, and he's basically raised the bar, telling that they can get good prices here in Spain.
Sure.
As long as they treat the customer not as good as God, but kind of treats him at a very, very high standard. So that's the kind of things that they could get from your academy without Shane or...
I think that Shane, Paul and me have the similar way too.
Okay. Hence you brought them in.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you for that interview. And I know that you're in a hurry and everything like that, so I really appreciate you taking these 5-10 minutes to have an interview with me. And I wish you the very best of luck.
Nice to meet you, and thanks for your time. It's a pleasure, man.